number two, I think, in your list.
We're already just up. I know. I'm sorry. I'm moving really slow here.
No. Listen, I got all the time in the world. It's your time I worry about. But number two was shut mouths don't get fed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll give you a story on this, Roger. Is that we were having this great dinner with a few agent friends of mine, one from Chattanooga, one from Baton Rouge, that are big team leaders. Both teams are doing, a couple 300 transactions a year. They were staying down here at the beach. We had this great dinner. The one from Louisiana actually had a friend of his with him who's in the insurance business. His name is Charlie Causey. And Charlie just kind of was sitting back, just listening to us talk about real estate business. And he's just quietly listening and sipping on his after dinner drink. And after we were all fired up about everything, he said, "Let me tell you boys something." And I said, "Oh gosh, this is going to be good." He had that little South Louisiana in him. And he said, "Y'all, I'm going to tell you what I tell." I think he has a couple hundred, insurance agents. He said, "Y'all see this phone right here?" He said, let me show you what I tell my people is. He said, "That phone right there sitting down on the table, you know what that is? That's broke. You know what this is? Rich. Broke, rich. Broke, rich. If you're not talking to people, nothing's happening. And so this is a contact sport. And the more people that you communicate with, and the more you communicate value, because it's changed, from when it was all phones when I started. Now it could be video. It could be, I've got a 24-year-old agent here that sold $7 million just in January from YouTube. And the thing is he doesn't make a lot of outbound calls, because now after 14 months and doing a video a week, specifically on neighborhoods, specifically speaking to an ideal client of his, where it's almost like a dog whistle type of marketing, where the only person that hears it is the person who's supposed to. And he has literally got 10 hours a day of watch time on YouTube. So he's got passive prospecting. So he's communicating with people for 10 hours a day, even though he's not on the phone.
Right.
But the bottom line of all this is, if you're not talking, you're not going to be having sales.
Right.
Sales don't happen through drip campaigns.
Right.
Sales don't happen by just having somebody in a funnel. They happen by you understanding the needs, providing that value in a way, and helping them get across the finish line to get what they ultimately want.
I think you just mentioned video, and this is year 50 for me. So I've seen it from, pre-cell phone and so forth. And I think through all those years, and by the way, I'm a huge computer guy. I started in the 80s building computers. I wrote the first CRM system in the real estate industry and first office management. And so I've done I'm a big technology guy. I love it. I love the pursuit of being better at things in general. And I think of all those years and all those things, I still think today, even more than computers in general, that this video revolution is probably the most significant opportunity ever in my entire time in real estate. Not even close.
It's not even close. Yeah, no, it's not.
Your point,
Roger,
go ahead.
No, I was just going to say that I'm a perfect example of this. I'm not doing anything differently than I did 10 years ago. But 5 years ago, I started putting a video a week out on how to help agents. I had to figure it out. People don't have to figure it out now. You can go on YouTube and say, "How do I start a YouTube channel?" And it'll tell you. I had to figure all that stuff out. I did 72 videos, 14 months before I got my first 100 subscribers.
Wow.
And now I'm sitting here with adding 1,000 subscribers a month right now. And it's one of those where it's just the consistency. And so I went back and looked. And so when we're talking about agents building personal brands, and, a lot of agents say, "Well, I don't want to make phone calls. I don't like to make phone calls." First, if you got to make them at some point, but if you're looking to build it where you don't have to, and you want to attract clients instead of chasing them, video is the answer. It is absolutely the answer. So for me, I looked at this a couple of days ago. I had a friend of mine that was asking me about my channel. I said, and now with analytics on the back end because of, how many people I've got, YouTube tells me, that how many hours people are watching on a daily basis.
Right.
And I told him, he had asked that question. I told him, and he said, "Jimmy, what you don't understand is he said, let's break this down." He said, basically what you're telling me is right now, every live second that's happening, somebody's watching 8 seconds of your videos. And he said, think of the value of that to an agent. Think of the value of marketing themselves. It's one thing. I can only be on the phone with so many people if I'm an agent.
Right.
But if I've got a video and you get to a point where you've got every 2 seconds somebody's watching your video, it's like you've cloned yourself twice and you're just letting the clones do the work. You know what I mean? And you're sitting there.
I know from watching one of your videos that you're a big believer in geographic farming still. And
Absolutely.
I still am a huge believer in that. I think with the new tools, you can do it better, more efficiently and so forth. But the value of going door to door and meeting with people and doing it in the same area over and over was an opportunity for a person to get to know you. And video is just a chance for people to get to know you, get a sense of who you are, what your energy is, stuff that you don't get from a mail piece, or, even anything that's static is not going to give you a sense of who I am.